Okay, so ready to dive in. Today, we're going to take a look at something pretty interesting. It's how those skills, the ones you build when you're trading and battling it out in the markets, can actually help you kind of level up your whole life.
Yeah.
Not just your finances, but everything.
Right.
Now, if you're listening to this, you're probably already familiar with trading, right? It's about way more than just picking stocks.
For sure.
But the source material we're looking at today takes it a step further.
Okay.
It actually says that, quote, trading changes your life.
Yeah.
Like, even if you never become some Wall Street, hot shot.
Right.
So what do you think about that?
Well, it's kind of fascinating, isn't it? Because on the surface, when you think about trading, it seems like this really niche, numbers-driven world.
Yeah, definitely.
But what most people don't see are the mental frameworks it kind of forces you to build.
Right.
And those, they apply everywhere, not just finance.
Okay, so the source specifically says trading changes your life. And that's a pretty bold statement.
Yeah.
So how does that play out for someone who's not, aiming to be a professional trader?
Well, think of it this way. Trading basically throws you into this constant feedback loop of wins and losses, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And it forces you to adapt and constantly refine your approach. It's a high-pressure environment, right?
Yeah.
And it demands discipline, risk management, and
Emotional control. Yeah.
exactly, emotional control. And those skills are like gold in any field, not just the market.
So it's like a mental boot camp for life.
Exactly. You get benefits that go way beyond just, the trading floor.
I like that, mental boot camp.
Okay.
Okay, so the source material also mentions this idea of thinking in probabilities.
Yeah.
Can you break that down for us a bit?
Sure. So in trading, it's about assessing the odds, the chances of a trade actually working out.
Okay, so not just going with your gut.
Exactly. Not relying on just gut feelings. It's a more calculated approach. But, let's say you're thinking about launching a new project.
Right.
Like maybe starting your own business. Now, a trader's mindset would push you to say, okay, hold on. What are the actual probabilities of success here?
Makes sense.
What are my strengths? What's the market demand like? How fierce is the competition out there? You see.
Yeah.
It's not just about chasing a dream. It's about, evaluating the realistic path to get there.
So instead of just jumping in head first, you're taking a step back and analyzing the odds.
Right.
That's pretty valuable in any situation. But doesn't that take away some of the fun, though? Like the excitement of, just going for it?
Oh, that's a great question. It's not about eliminating your emotions completely. It's
Right.
more about finding a balance between your emotions and logic.
Got it.
Here, think about planning a vacation.
Yeah.
You might really feel like going to the specific exotic island, right?
Yeah.
But that trader's mindset, it would encourage you to consider other things too.
Like what?
Well, like the probability of bad weather during that season, the availability of flights and accommodations, even the political stability of the region, and so on.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all important things to consider. So you're still going on the adventure, but you're doing it in a way that maximizes your chances of things actually going smoothly.
Exactly.
That approach would definitely save me from some headaches. But okay, let's shift gears a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about thinking long term. Now, it's kind of obvious that this is important in trading, holding on to investments for future gains and all that. But how does that long-term thinking apply to other areas of life?
It's all about understanding that the most rewarding outcomes often require patience and, delayed gratification.
Oh, yeah. Like
Written-
waiting for something good instead of needing it right away.
Exactly. In trading, you might hold on to a stock for years.
Wow. Years.
Yeah, sometimes even through all the market ups and downs to realize its full potential.
Wow.
And that same principle applies to building a career, for example.
Okay. How so?
Well, you don't just chase after the first shiny job offer that comes your way, right? You think about the company's growth trajectory, you invest in your skills, you build relationships, and basically you play the long game to get those bigger rewards down the line.
So it's choosing to build a solid foundation instead of going for that quick win.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. And, it seems like that long-term perspective really ties in with that whole emotional control thing we were talking about.
Oh, absolutely. They go hand in hand.
Because markets can be volatile, right? You're going to face those ups and downs no matter what.
For sure.
So how do you ride those waves without losing your cool?
Trading's a roller coaster. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, and letting your emotions dictate your actions is a recipe for,
Disaster.
Exactly, disaster. It's all about developing that mental toughness
Right.
to stay calm and make rational decisions, even when your portfolio is, taking a hit.
Oh, I bet that's hard.
It is. It takes practice.
Mm.
But think about how valuable that skill is in other situations.
Okay, yeah. Like what?
Well, like in a high-stakes work presentation,
Yeah.
or even like dealing with a family crisis,
Right.
if you can master your emotions in the trading arena, you're basically giving yourself the tools to handle pressure in any part of life.
So it's almost like training your mind to stay focused and resilient no matter what happens.
Exactly.
It's funny because a lot of people think of trading as this cold, calculated pursuit.
Yeah, I get that.
But what we've been talking about today, it paints a different picture.
Definitely.
One of resilience, patience, and thoughtful decision-making.
It's about taking those hard-won lessons from the trading floor and applying them to the bigger picture of your life.
Right.
It's recognizing that those skills, things like risk assessment, long-term vision, and emotional discipline, those are the foundation for a successful and fulfilling life,
Yeah.
no matter what your goals are.
It's amazing how much we can learn from trading, even if we never buy a single stock.
I agree. It's a whole different perspective.
This has really given me a lot to think about.
Me too.
So, to our listeners out there, think about a recent decision you made, one that maybe didn't go quite the way you hoped it would.
Okay.
Now ask yourself, if you'd applied these trading principles,
Right.
like assessing the odds, thinking long term, and really controlling your emotions, would you have approached it differently? Just something to think about.
That's a good point. Something to ponder.
And that wraps up our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It's been great having you.
It's been a great conversation.
It has. All right, until next time.
See you then.